The Beatles are notorious for producing memorable and catchy songs that dominated the charts, and this song is a prime example of their work. Leave a comment if you recognise it. And before this timer runs out, I'll show you what makes this song so memorable and easy to sing along to. Also, make sure to smash that subscribe button if you want more music theory videos in the future. Okay, let's start with the harmony. The song is in the key of C major, and the chords in the intro and verse are both C major, G major, A minor, F major 7, F6, and then it goes back to C major, G major, and then F, which resolves to C major. And the chords C, G, A minor, and F major are simple, smooth brain triads, which for any neophytes out there consist of the root, which is the starting note, the major third interval, and the perfect fifth interval from the key signature that we're in, which is C major. And just to clarify, this chord, though it looks mighty, is still a C major. We just have the root down here, we have the third up here, and the fifth up here, and we're doubling the root up here as well. So that is the same as that, it just sounds bigger. And the F major 7 and F6 chords feature 4 notes total, rather than our 3-noted triads. Here, the F major 7 has the root, the third, the fifth, but then a 7th. In fact, a major 7th away, which is why it's called a major 7. And in this F6 chord, there's the addition of the major 6th interval. Wow! Now this chord progression that we have is already pretty catchy, but this chord progression actually reuses 4 of these chords in the chorus. Let me show you. The A minor chord is reused, the C chord is reused, but slightly tweaked because we're playing a G note, which would be the 5th in C major. So that's basically reused. And we have the F, which is reused, and then the C, which is also reused. So to the listener, it sounds different throughout the whole song, but in reality, we're listening to the same chords again, which through repetition makes the song sound catchy to us. Let's get whiteboard Matt on this case. Thank you, Matt. I really needed that. So let's look at the chords that we have on stock today. Okay, we have a lot of chords here, but let me show you what they mean. So in Roman numerals, we have C major, which is our tonic, the 1 chord. Over here, G major, which is the dominant, which means it's the 5 chord in the key of C major. And then, like you think, A minor is going to be the 6, F major 7 is going to be the 4 chord, but it's a major 7 chord, so it's got that extra major 7 interval added to the thingy. And then all the way over here we have F6, which is the 4 chord still, but we add an extra 6th interval to make it a chord. A chord, yeah. But like Piano Matt said, some of these chords are actually reused in the chorus. Let me show you which ones. And would you look at that, it's these 3 right here, very conveniently turned into blue. While the chorus does use F, it's a different F, it's just the basic F. Actually, let me show you. Oh gosh. Alright folks, so we have A minor, which we've reused. That's just copy and paste, bada bing bada boom. And over here we have C major over G, which it's still a C major, we're just playing it over a different root note, like I said over there. And there's 2 ways that you can actually write this in the Roman numerals. You could write it like this, or you could write this as 1C, as the C means that we're playing the chord in the 2nd inversion. Basically, this is tend to use for more classical, boring music, so pick whichever one you like best. And over here, F, that's technically different because it's just the F, there's no major whatnot going on there. And we have C, which is also in the chorus, as well as the verse. And then in the second part of the chorus we have C again, G, which again has been borrowed from the verse, F, that's still new, C earlier, and C. The same. That's been the whiteboard section for today. Over to you, Matt. Another memorable feature of this song is the melody. When you listen to the verse, it's very singable and easy to remember after a few listens. But why? Well, the reason is the majority of this melody is using the notes from the pentatonic scale. And while Paul McCartney probably wasn't thinking what scale to use today, most of the notes that are sung belong in the pentatonic C major scale, apart from the odd F note that comes in, but we'll let that slide. But what is the pentatonic scale? Well, I'm glad you asked. This scale has 5 different note names to choose from before we end back at our starting note. Let me show you. And that is 2 less than our standard major and minor scales. And this scale is used in so many different music traditions, it's actually insane. Some which rely on learning songs by listening rather than by reading music, like in West African music. So it's a pretty good scale to learn to create memorable melodies that are easy to learn and sing along to, because that's what most people remember. The melody. Did I beat the timer? So let's create a quick chord progression and put this music theory into action. Let's use a 1, 5, 6, and 4 chord progression in the key of D major, which uses these notes. Apologies that the camera angle looks a bit different now. My SD card decided to explode, so... And with our right hand, we'll be playing the notes from the D major pentatonic scale, which are these notes. So together, it sounds something like this. That's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. The song that I've been yapping to you about is, of course, Let It Be by the Beatles. I just forgot to say that in the video. Nice one, Matt. If you enjoy analysing music like me, then you may like this Notion template, which I use for analysing songs for these videos. It helps organise your notes and has templates to help analyse songs faster. There's also a brand new membership now, if you like exclusive emotes and badges and more behind the scenes bits. If you're into that freaky stuff. Yup, that's it. If you like the Beatles, then consider watching this video here about one of my favourite songs by them. See you soon.